Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Okay, so you got your kids at school. No, you don't. You are home with your kids. Life is different, isn't it? It's so crazy. Every day, it's like there's some new alert, but I know for the most part, people are now faced with what some of us are familiar with, and that is having your kids at home with you all day. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with me, I'm Christy Clover, and I'm a homeschooling mom of 5, and I wanted to jump on and share some school at home hacks with you because I know that it can be an adjustment having your kids home with you all day and trying to be productive and get some things like school done. Now, just as a little background, I am the author of Homeschool Basics. It's a book all about homeschooling. I'm not saying you have to start homeschooling. You don't have to homeschool to do all this. You are at home with your kids and the schools are sending out information. So might as well be a little prep. But I'm also the author of M.O.M, Master Organizer of Mayhem. This is my passion project. So my joke online lately has been, great time to pick a project and start organizing. So did just want to share that with you, that there are resources available out there for getting organized. But let's talk about practical things. So what I'm noticing online is that there are people sharing these schedules. Like, what do you do? So people are like, okay, from 7 to 8, we're doing this. From 8 to 9, we're doing this. From 9 to 10, we're doing this. That is what I did when I first started homeschooling. That is what everybody does when they first started homeschooling because we're so familiar with school structure and school schedules. And I am telling you, you gotta let that go when you have your kids at home. It's just a whole different ball of worms. That's not the right little acronym, or no, right little saying there, but it's a whole different thing. So I created a resource for you that I wanted to share, and I'll let it speak for itself. But I wanted to share a few important hacks for you about having your kids home from school. So here's the resource. Simply Joyful School at Home Routine. It's going to take you through a routine of how to get through your day, because that's an important thing, right? We all want to survive having our entire family home with us. Forget about the coronavirus. We want to survive having everybody at home and not really going out much, because we all know how to plan for like vacations. We all know how to plan for things like that. But having your kids home and not really being able to go out as much, it's really different. So this resource, and I'll put it in the links below, this resource is available if you go to my... And we're back on. Stay tuned, the coronavirus took over. I'm kidding. But let me jump into the hacks. So we know, this is the tough thing about going live, is that you never know how you can edit this out. It'll get edited, maybe not, so just let it be. But do know, christyclover.com/Sandy is gonna get you a digital download of my book, Sanity Savers for Moms, and also the copy of How to School at Home, all the hacks and how to plan for routine. So routine is important. So a couple of quick little things to run through. Number 1, take advantage of letting your kids sleep in. Everybody's happier when you sleep in. So don't feel like you gotta wake up to keep the same routine. Let your kids sleep in. Give them a good breakfast in the morning and eat breakfast together. It's kind of a fun time to kind of relax and chill out and see how everybody slept and all that good stuff. The next thing is you don't have to jump into school right away. So maybe get a few quick chores done around the house. Maybe just kind of teaching your kids new ways of doing things. This is a great opportunity to be teaching our kids life skills. I'm just saying, everybody's got to learn some life skills. So great time to do some chore training. I wish that was available. I have a whole course coming out on meal planning and chore training. Meal planning course is going to be coming out around Mother's Day. The chore training one, it's not coming out for a little bit. So that's like my little teaser. Okay, next thing, the next little hack I wanted you to know in your morning routine is read aloud. Honestly, reading books with your kids and to your kids, or having them read to you, is probably the best thing you can do. I mean, it is educational. It is just wonderful quality family time. So pick a good book and just enjoy it. And I will put a link to some of our family's favorite books for reading aloud. I mean, like the obvious one is always Lion Witch in the Wardrobe. Those are always so much fun, but you can pick a whole bunch of different books. So pick a book to read aloud. Don't be afraid to have audiobooks playing. So maybe while you are doing chores in the morning or while you're eating lunch, you can have an audiobook playing. Honestly, the book that I would not have thought was one that my whole family would love. I mean, I was enjoying it, so I started playing it in the car. My kids loved it, and that was Bob Goff's Love Does. So good. Again, I'll link to it below. Such a great book. And so they enjoyed all of his stories. Really, any book where there's a good storyteller and a good moral to the story is fabulous for your family. So don't forget to add reading aloud to your schedule or to your, routine. We're avoiding the schedules. We're going to go with the routine. All right, so here, okay, I'm just going to put my notes down. You're welcome. I'm just going to say this in advance. You're welcome. This is what you need to know from a homeschool veteran, because this is truly going to be the tip that will change your life when it comes. If you are homeschooling, you're welcome. This is what you needed to know ages ago. But if you are schooling at home for the first time, here's how you have sanity. You ready? If your school has sent homework to do with your kids, divide the work up. Work that requires you, so work that needs parent help, and work that they can do independently. During the morning hours, so this is where the routine comes in, during the morning hours and like early afternoon, like the early part before lunch, you're gonna work on that work that requires you, that needs your help. Now, here's the thing. If you have more than one school-age child, this is also where you have one child work on independent work while you work with the child that needs your help, and then you switch. If you have toddlers, same type of thing. Maybe you have an older child who can go play with the toddler while you work one-on-one with with the child that needs it, and then switch. So there's lots of little things, but I'm telling you, you are going to thank me for that tip. So we had a little interruption there again. Again, to recap, make sure you divide it. Morning time is going to be when you are working with the kids. Afternoon time is when you get a little bit of sanity. If they have more schoolwork to do, they can get it done. You are going to be shocked at just how quickly you can get through your school material. The next thing that I wanted to give you advice on, and another big hack, is do the hard subjects first. Do the subjects that nobody really likes. Do those first. Get them done. Just get them out of the way, because when you are tired and they are tired later in the day, no one's going to want to get it done, and you're going to have more of a fight on your hands. So I'm just saying, if you want a little bit of sanity, then that's what you're going to want to do. Do the hard subjects first. Okay. The other thing that's important with all the things going on with the coronavirus, plan for fun. You're going to get through the school material. Even as you're doing school material, make it fun. Just keep the day fun. Maybe have a picnic in your backyard or at a park, telling the kids that they can't play on the park equipment. Because right now that is important. We're just all keeping our germs to ourselves. We're isolating in order to help other people who are at risk for other things that are going on right now. So in your backyard or in your living room, you can just put a blanket down. Your kids are going to remember that. So think of this time as just a unique opportunity to be making memories with your family. Board games, be a gaming family. I always laugh because I'm like, we're gamers, we're board gamers. So board games with your family, do dance parties. We love playing fun music, introducing our children to, 80s and 90s music and all of our awesome little dance moves. Yeah, the teenagers don't love it as much, but the little kids sure do, and it burns energy at the end of the night. So just have fun, plan fun, do arts and crafts, do a baking project if you want to, but just focus on trying to create some fun memories with your kids during this time. The other thing is to make sure you are getting your children some exercise. So do go on walks, do plan things that are active. And my advice is always make a list. As you're thinking of ideas or hear other people, with some other ideas of what they're doing, even right now, you can make a list. So make a list of different activities that you can be doing during this time, because I know that is one thing that has been concerning people is, what do I do? All the kids are home. So when you are separating things, and then you can go sneak away and get a little bit of time to yourself. So in whether that's reading a good book, I mean, now's a great time to have a list of shows and have a list of movies, have a list of books, read aloud books. Check out Audible. If you go to christyclover.com/Audible, again, all the links will be below. That's going to have a whole bunch of lists of books over there. We love listening to books, on tape. We don't use books on tape anymore. Okay, so those are my tips for you, and I hope they help. Again, don't forget to head over to christyclover.com/sanity and get your school at home routine. You are going to thank me. Share it with everyone. Share it online. Make sure that they get a copy of this routine. They're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and I will email it to you if you go to christyclover.com/sanity. The other thing I will just mention is I do have a comprehensive guide on how to get organized for the coronavirus. I mean, I am a master organizer, so that's kind of what I do. And so it started by some friends asking me how I was prepping weeks ago. So I put together, it ended up being 12 pages, but don't be intimidated. It's mostly lists. It's like segmented lists. I mean, it's an organized guide. It's an organized guide on how to get organized. But that is available at christyclover.com/prep guide. I made it really, really cheap and affordable. I am charging for that one, but I put a ton of energy, and I could have probably made it into a course, but I'm not going to do that because I didn't want to have to do a whole course for it. So I just put together this comprehensive guide. So hopefully you love it. Do be sure to check out the resources. I will link everything below. I would love to connect with you over here on YouTube, or if you are watching this on Instagram, please be sure to follow me both places. I am going to be going live on YouTube this week, encouraging you and giving you some sanity saving tips. So be on the lookout for more sanity savers and more sanity saver hacks, not just school hacks, but just how to get through all of this with some sanity. So I hope that we are connecting here. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you not only subscribe, but hit the bell to get notifications, because that's how you'll know to be able to join me as I'm going live. And if you're watching on IGTV, well, there it is. You can leave comments there as well. So make sure you're following me there. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And don't forget to live simply and be joyful. Bye, everyone.